What's going on, y'all? We are about to get started on project therapy session. While doing some maintenance on it, I'm going to go ahead and give you a better look at the bike than the quick video I did earlier. So let's go ahead and start with pulling the seat. We're going to start looking at how to access the air filter, check the plugs, and go from there. Get our key in the back. So we pop the seat. We'll lift the seat off and go from there. Alright, with the seat off, it's dusty, dirty. We'll blow all this out soon enough. We do have to remove this plastic trim piece here. And then the one on the other side. And somehow the tank has got to come up. And I don't know what's all involved in that yet. I haven't fully looked at it. I know I'm going to have to probably take these Allen bolts out. Here, here, and then up in here, and down the other side as well. As well as this plastic piece here. So, only way to figure it out is to start doing it. So here we have the single bolt that holds it on. These two are just pushed in place. So we grab our 4mm, I think, or 4 or 5. Nope, 4mm. I'm gonna have to invest in some T-handles if I plan on working on these bikes. Tell someone's had this off before because it is cranked on there way tighter than it needs to be. If you look here, let's turn you guys. You have a push pin here and a push connector there. So now all this is done, we'll do the same thing on the other side. Well, you guys can see, fuel tank is off. We have the main feed line for the fuel and a vent tube, as well as the electrical connection. Also, with it off, we can access our rearmost spark plug, which we're going to be changing plugs anyways. Now we can access the air filter. It looks like the front two spark plug will have to access some other way. But at least now we can start doing maintenance checks, cleaning this all off, and going from there. Now the airbox is 6 screws from what I can see. If you guys don't have a long handle screwdriver for projects like this, I highly recommend it. Keeps it away from the fairing. It allows you to get down in there for the screws that are hard to reach. I miscounted. There was 8 bolts, 2 in the front, 2 in the back. And like I said, add a bonus to having a long screwdriver. You guys can get way down in there. See that right there? Hard to see, but there's a little Phillips down there. Then we can pop this off. I've already got the air filter working out, but I'm already finding dead bugs and dirt in here. So we'll go ahead and get one of these on order. Here. Set this where you're not going to drop the screws. And yes, I have a screw set aside because it fell out. And here's our filter. Now, we can get to the front plug. No, front plug is going to be even further up still. All right. Well, we'll get a look at a new air filter, drop it in there, and then we can start on the other fluids. Just got my Amazon delivery today. Air filter came in as well as the spark plugs. So we're going to go ahead and get those installed. Let me go ahead and show you the air filter and we'll go get started. Here are the two air filters, and you can tell which is old and which is new. They make it dummy proof. They label it up so guys like me know what we're doing. Take our lid back off. We'll go ahead and set the filter in. And it fits around the screw points as soon as I figure this out. So it goes in one way. You can tell, filter's in. We'll drop the lid on it and tighten up our 8 bolts or screws. Go over, check all 8 of these screws, make sure they're tight. So, air filter is in. Now we'll start on the spark plugs. Front one is here, or the rear one is in back here. The front is going to be a little harder. We got to remove or loosen the radiator to get to it. So spec for the spark plug gap on a 2003 V-Strom 1000 is 28 to 31 thousandths, and we are right at 28 thousandths. It's dead on, and the other plug is already done, and that's spot on as well. So we'll go ahead and grab a socket and get this rear plug pulled and go from there. Start by pulling the plug wire. You guys can see way down there is a spark plug. Gonna grab my ratchet and extension and start loosening it. Get the plug loose and we'll pull it out. Fishing this out with a magnet just to make my life easier. We'll see what this plug looks like. Definitely a dirtier plug. A little bit of oil on it, maybe some fuel. But we'll go ahead and get this new one in. Something I forgot to mention is you've got to take the nipple off the spark plug for it to fit accordingly. So we pulled this back out, pulled the nipple off, and we're going to go and put this back in the head again. So we have our plug in here properly. Now we'll go and put the wire on it until it snaps in place. And now that spark plug is done, now we're going to come up to the front, and we're going to do this tomorrow because I'm tired and I just got off a 14-hour shift. We come up here, loosen the radiator, oop, right there, right in front of my face. Lower that down so we can get to that front plug and repeat that same process. To get to the front plug, we have to take these Allen bolts out here on both sides of the fairing. They go into the radiator. Let's go down here and take this lower bolt out. Then we can swing the radiator forward, and there's just enough room to put the toolkit socket set up in here with the special tools that come with the bike. So we'll go ahead and get these bolts out. It looks like a 10 millimeter and then a 4 millimeter Allen, and go from there. It's going to be really tight. First 4 millimeter Allen wrench bolt is out. Now we're taking out the 10 millimeter here. Got this bolt out. Now we can work on the Allen bolt on the other side. And then we should be able to get some play out of this radiator. Sorry guys. I got all the bolts out. You guys can see just enough movement. Now I've got to try to get in here, right where my finger's at, and drop this tool in there to see about getting this bolt out, or this socket, or spark plug out. We have the plug wire out, got all the bolts loose for the radiator to give us a little bit of wiggle room. Now we've got to try to get the toolkit and drop this socket in there to get the spark plug out. I had to stop recording because I was getting frustrated, but I couldn't get the radiator out of the way far enough to use the bike tool that came with it, so we pulled the radiator hose, drained the fluid, and then pulled the spark plug out with a ratchet and extension. Made my life a lot easier because it's way up in there. So all that squared up. You can see the coolant leaked everywhere. So I've already filled the coolant. Now we're going to drain the fuel tank and then go from there. Let's go ahead and talk about the plugs. So I put in a Charlie Romeo 8 Echo India X-ray part number, which is a heat range 8. These, and I put in an iridium plug. The bike had a Charlie Romeo 9, which is a step colder than stock. I don't know why they were running a colder plug, but I went back to what we were supposed to have, and now we have iridium plugs. So we'll see. I don't know how it ran before, but hopefully we get this running proper. On to the next step. Spark plugs are changed, air filters swapped. We're going to go ahead and get the fuel drain. Originally, I didn't think there was much fuel in this tank, but it definitely feels heavier than I thought. So I have a DIY transfer pump that runs off 12 volts. We'll go ahead and draw the fuel out of the stock tank, put it into a jug, and then get some fresh fuel. Okay. So here we have our Amazon fuel pump, 5/16 line. We're going to put the draw side into the fuel tank on the off the bike. They'll put the pump outside onto the gas can that I have, and that'll go ahead and allow us to drain the tank. It just runs off 12 volts, and I'll just hook that right to the Jeep battery and let it do its thing. About 5 to 10 minutes. We got all the fuel drained out that we can. There's still a little bit in here, but not enough to worry about. We'll pick up some fresh 91, top it off, and it should be good. This tank is definitely not as easy as some of the older tanks I've messed with to drain, due to all the nooks, crannies, and the fact that there's an electric fuel pump inside the tank. But I feel like we got it good enough. So we're going to go ahead and clean the tank real quick, just the outside because it's dirty as heck, and then dispose of our fuel. I'm just going to probably throw it in the Bronco or the Jeep just so it burns it. That gallon's not going to hurt the 30-gallon tank in the Bronco any. Then we'll go and get this back on the bike, get the fuel line connected. Then we should be able to put our battery in it and give it a test fire. With the fuel drained into the Bronco, we're going to go ahead and pick up some fresh fuel tomorrow on the way home from work. We're going to test fire this thing before we change the oil. I just want to make sure it fires up, make sure it runs before I spend money on oil, because we don't know what else we're going to come across from a bike sitting for 2 years. So let's go ahead and fast forward, get some fuel, and go from there. Okay, so we got the tank drained. Now we're going to slide it back into place, bolt it down, and hook up all our connections. Remember, we have the vent tube, then we have the feed line, and the electrical connection for the pump. So that'll drop in. I've got to take this bolt out here and this bolt out so I don't run into any snags. And then we should be able to fuel it, put a battery in it, and go from there. We got the front fairings on the bike. I'm going to drop the battery in now. And then I've got to fix a piece of plastic here that cracked. Oops, sorry guys, right there. You're going to have to get some JB Weld or something and try to just make that look halfway decent. It'll get covered by the side trim anyways. So let's clear this up down in here. We'll get the battery in it. I just bought a cheap eBay or Amazon battery, sorry. 40 bucks. Should at least get us running. Battery is in and mounted up. Now we're going to grab our keys and see if this thing will at least turn the power on, and then we'll put some fuel in it. Gauges work. Blinkers work. High beam and all that works. Alright. Horn works. Alright, let's get the fuel in it and see what this does. Oh, and our little indicator. Some 91 octane. I got about 2 gallons for this thing. Now we still need to do an oil change, but we're going to get this fuel in it and we'll go from there. Trying to keep it from leaking any fuel on the paint. It's all that good. Man, this is fuel injected. I don't know if it's what's wrong. Alright, well, bike cranks up nice with the new battery in it. Doesn't fire. I think we're getting spark. I'm going to go ahead and test it real quick, and then we'll go from there. Alright, so what I did was I pulled the plug wire out, put it to a ground. I have spark. I'm not getting fuel. You guys can tell it's kind of skipped some parts. I was trying to get starting fluid up into the air box, but the whole way the system is designed, there was no easy way to do it. So without the tank on, what I'm going to do is spray some fuel in here, which is our engine starting fluid. We'll go ahead and crank this over, and if this starts, it tells me the fuel pump is bad, and we'll probably end the video here if that's the case, because I don't have parts. So at this point, we know we have spark, but I'm not getting fuel. I've got the tank off. It's sitting on the other side of the garage. What we'll end up doing now is have to hunt down a fuel pump and go from there. It's all right. It's a project. We're not into this bike a lot right now. So without having parts, without being able to do more, we'll go ahead and get things out of order and then go from there. Once again, y'all, this is the introduction to Project Therapy session. Hopefully you guys enjoyed what you did get to see. We did get a lot done. Now we just got to fix a few things and then get it out on the road. So thanks for watching. God bless and take care.